How many times have you sat there, looked at your screen, and not known what to post, what to say, what to make a video topic about, how to get people over to your website, how to get people to willingly give you their email address? All of those things are strategies that you need to have content to drive and push and get people to want to do. So we hosted our boot camp last week called the Content Creation Boot Camp, really to kind of take people through that process. We have a 4-part digital marketing foundation system that we are going to be using from this day moving forward. This year we went through the trenches and we figured out like we need to put together a recipe to figure out what's going to make this stuff work for people. And we have that recipe now. And then next year, we really are just going to be going full force on it. So if you're considering working with WeMerge Media and you are looking to finally be able to break through and make some sense of all the stuff you're doing with social media and digital marketing, this is the process that we're going to take you through. We're going to make sure that you have that foundation in place because we know without that foundation, it's not going to work. Period. Point blank. It's just simply not going to work because you can't build a house and not put a foundation in place, not add plumbing, not add support systems. And the foundation that we're going to be helping people get in place are basically that support system. You want to be on social media marketing your business and generating traffic and getting clicks and all that other stuff. But what happens afterwards? Like what happens when somebody really does go to the link in your bio and click on the link? What system do you have in place to be able to take people through that process of what you want them to go through and what they need to experience in order to decide, yes, this is the person that I want to deal with, want to hire, want to help me with the problem that I'm trying to solve. So today, what I'm going to do in this episode of Tech Talk Tuesday is kind of walk you through a couple of things that we talked about in the boot camp, just to give you some understanding as to where this is going from Tech Talk Tuesday and from WeMerge Media. I'm going to support that with why I think it's important for you to make sure that you take advantage of the offer that we're providing to get a digital marketing assessment. Don't go into next year without understanding what this foundation looks like and not knowing where you stand on that system. So I'm going to talk about that. And then I'm just going to share a video clip with you about why a good content marketing strategy is important. So we're going to do some screen sharing today. I'll come back and make sure that, I can answer any questions or anything that you have. But as I'm going through this, feel free to post your questions down below. If I don't answer them right away, I'll get to them at the end. We want to make sure people who are jumping in to get this information can get the information right away. And then I'll hang out at the end to answer any questions that people may have. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a real quick test to make sure my screen share and everything is good. Yes, right. Carmen's getting ready for 2022. Wendy, thanks so much for sharing. Love the boot camp. Awesome. Wendy was part of our boot camp last week. Awesome, Wendy. Thank you for sharing. Facts. Foundation first. Looking forward to it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, Michaela, happy Tech Talk Tuesday. We are speaking facts today. So let's go ahead. That lets me know everybody can hear me and everybody can see me. I'm going to go ahead and do a screen share with you. And then I'm going to talk about how you can go ahead and take advantage of the digital marketing assessment because I want you to have that. Oh, there's a new feature here. Y'all know me. There's a new feature here in StreamYard that I didn't see before. So being who I am, we're going to test that out today. So let's go ahead and do the screen share. Let's see what it looks like when I do that. Okay, so I want to go back to the beginning and present. I don't even know. Let's see. What does it look like? Let me just take a real quick look. Y'all bear with me. I want to see. So basically what it says is there's a new picture in picture. Okay. I'm just at the bottom. Okay, cool. Awesome. So I shouldn't be in the way of the content that you're seeing. So let me just first kind of recap last week's content creation bootcamp and share with you what we talked about. So it was a 5-day boot camp. Each day we went over a different topic. Day one, we did an introduction to kind of introduce the concept of compelling content. A lot of you might be creating content, but are you creating compelling content? That's the key, because compelling content is going to be what drives people to want to take action and want to go do that next thing with you, click that link or sign up or purchase something. After that, we then talked about creating a content marketing strategy and provided everybody in the bootcamp with some resources on how to be able to do that. Day three, we went through creating content. One of the things that was funny about this part, because we talked about repurposing content, is that everybody thinks that you have to become an author and write all these long form blog content and all this other stuff. I showed everybody multiple ways to find content that is already done for you that you can easily repurpose. You do not have to create every single thing. You just need to create the things that really are part of your expertise. You can fill in the gaps with some other stuff that are going to be valuable for your audience, but they don't necessarily have to be created by you. So that was a good eye opener for a lot of people who joined us. After that, we talked about the content creation tools. So now that you know where to find content, what kind of content create, how do you go about getting that created? We talked about the social media power pack if you're not into creating stuff on your own. But then we also walked through some demonstrations on how to use something like Canva to do everything. Everything that you see here, our graphics, our videos, for the most part, most of our videos, I would say we're making that stuff in Canva. I mean, I used to pay a lot, thousands of dollars for software to do the stuff that I'm doing in Canva that I'm now paying like 12 bucks a month. So that was another one of those things that people were like, oh, I had no idea. And then last but not least, we talked about now that you have all the pieces of the puzzle, how do you get this information out and where do you distribute it? How do you get it in front of people so that those people can then interact with that content and go to the next step? So those are just some high level things that we talked about. All of this fits into that digital marketing foundation that I'm telling you about. And this is it. Like I'm telling you, if you ain't getting something that's filling in these gaps, you are not getting any services from us. I just have to say, because I'm sticking to this. This is what is necessary. You want to know what the people who are making millions of dollars are doing? This is what they have in place. They have this digital marketing foundation in place. They have the right infrastructure to house their digital front doors, their social media, their website, the places where their content live. They have compelling content because that's why you subscribe and follow to them. You know, they have honed their message and defined their audience to know what needs to be said and what people need and how to deliver that information in a way that's going to compel them to take action. So that is the other part of that. The sales funnel part. Okay, you've got my attention. You made me want to do something, but do you have the system and the process in place to make me go through the next step and follow through? That's where that sales funnel come in. And then last but not least, I know a lot of us, have been overwhelmed with tasks. So how many of those tasks can be taken off your plate simply by implementing automation and technology and artificial intelligence and all that good stuff? So this is what we talked about, and this is the foundation that we're sticking to. Everybody who goes through a digital marketing assessment is going to be assessed on these things. Where do you stand? What do you have? And what do we need to fill in the gaps? So that's the foundation that we use for all the boot camps. I'm going to share a little video with you that's just going to talk a little bit about why a good content marketing strategy is important. And then I'll come back to talk to you a little bit about how to get that assessment. But it's going to be important for you to just kind of understand, now that you see the digital marketing foundation, why this piece of the puzzle is so important. Because if you don't have that piece of the puzzle, how are you going to go from the infrastructure over to the sales funnel? What did you do to get people to the sales funnel? You had to have that compelling content. So you have to have these things in place. Otherwise, it's just you're spinning your wheels and you're wasting your time. So why you need a good content marketing strategy, the number one thing, especially with people that we deal with, are that to kind of prevent the overwhelming feeling of doing anything, creating any content, social media. It's a lot. And I know it's a lot. So it's like, how can we use this system in order to be able to help people get clarity so that they're not doing things that aren't aligning to the goals that they want to accomplish? Okay. So good content marketing strategy is really going to help you with that. But the other part of what that's going to do is going to help you get clear about who you want to reach and then what you need to offer and say in order to reach them. Those are the other parts that are important. So the other thing that I thought was important is that everybody always kind of catches on to like, I want to do XYZ, and by next week, I want to have 1,000 people in my sales funnel and I want to have millions of dollars in sales. Like, it just don't simply work like that. And the people that have gotten to that point to make it work like that have already been in the marathon. We come into a point where we see them in the race and they're click of a button going live and they have 10, 20, $30,000 in sales done in just seconds. But you don't know what marathon they've been running all this time to get to that point. So this is about developing that foundation and building the systems to allow you to be able to sustain through this process. So let's take a look at a video here. I didn't want to play that just yet. But let's take a look at this video here and talk about, why you need a good content marketing strategy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and back that up real quick and play that for you. Hold on one second. I think I need to change it so it doesn't autoplay. All right, I'm gonna come to the comments. Bear with me because I know y'all got some stuff to say. So we're gonna come to the comments. We're gonna talk about this, and then we're gonna get into getting you set up with that digital marketing assessment. Okay. So, okay, we should be good now. Are we at the beginning? We should have sound. Let's go ahead and give a play.
In this presentation, you're going to learn about the top 5 reasons why a good content marketing strategy is a must in this day and age. Let's begin. Number 1, it establishes your authority. When you're publishing high-quality content on a regular basis, you eventually establish yourself as an authority in your industry. People flock to your website because your content helps them in one way or another. Number 2, it creates a strong brand identity. If you've got a good content marketing strategy in place, then you'll be all over the web. Your target audience will encounter your brand frequently. They'll become familiar with the type of content you publish, and you'll become known as one of people's go-to brands in your industry. When you build a strong brand, you'll be able to convert your casual readers into avid fans. Number 3, builds trust among your target audience. People love authority. With a successful content marketing strategy in place, you'll be viewed as an authority by your audience. You'll be seen as a brand they can trust. So when you recommend products or services to your audience, they'll be more willing to follow your advice. They trust you, so you better make sure you don't waste that and do something terrible to lose that trust. They can easily turn the tables on you and post negative reviews on the internet. Number 4, generates leads and sales. Generating leads and sales is hard if you don't have a reputable brand or name in the industry. With content marketing, you can establish your brand as a trustworthy authority. If you carry out your business with integrity, then you can easily generate leads and sales. People will trust whatever you tell them to do, provided it somehow solves a pain point for them. Number 5, higher return on investment, ROI, than traditional advertising. There are many different ways to advertise your brand on the internet. You can do the pay-per-click PPC marketing, search engine marketing, SEM, banner ads, social media ads, and more. Note that with any of these paid methods, you still need to generate your content, so you need to factor that into the cost too. However, with content marketing, you're essentially only spending money on getting your content produced. The good news is your content will continue to live on the internet long after it's produced, which translates to really excellent ROI.
All right. So if that didn't give you a good understanding as to why it's important for you to have this in place, we need to talk. And that's going to lead to our digital marketing assessment to really find out where you are, what gaps do we need to fill, and how we can get you ready for 2022, because it's going to be here before you know it. We're getting our system over here in place beforehand. We're going to have our stuff running for the holidays. So laser focus, getting the right foundation in place, because we spent so much time doing all these things out of order and not having the right foundation in place. So it's going to be important. A lot of you may be able to relate to some of the characteristics of this tragic route. These are things that happen when people do not have a content marketing and strategy in place, and when they don't have the right foundation in place. So, you get hype about creating some content and you're ready to go, and you start out nice and strong, you've got your affirmations and you're ready, you go. But without a plan, just like always, you go to a certain point, to a certain extent, but then you might run out of steam because you don't have any guidelines as to, am I going the right direction? Am I making any progress? Having this content marketing and strategy in place is going to allow you to be able to measure things as you go and then understand what success looks like along the way. So in order to avoid going through that process, getting hype up, starting strong, and then going blank, no longer posting, not sure what to say, having this strategy in place is going to help you. And that's why we want to offer you the opportunity to get the assessment. The other thing that the assessment is going to do is going to help you understand who your content is for. I always ask people, let's kind of take a look at your life, what experiences that you have, and what has life most prepared you to do well. Who has life prepared you to help? So for us, in our case, as an example, we know that we've been prepared up until this point to help people who are starting early on in business get the right foundation in place to be able to use social media and digital marketing technology to grow their business. For you, it's going to be something totally different depending on your industry. But it's important before you start making content that you understand who you're talking to, where they are, and what do you need to put into your content in order to connect with them and appeal to them. When we talked about the distribution, there's a lot of different reasons why you might decide where your content lives. So a lot of people don't realize this, but there are a number of different places that you can distribute your content besides just your social media or just Facebook. So we're going to go through that in the assessment to find out where are you showing up, who are you speaking to, and then how do we get this information over to them. So now let's get to the good part, and then I'm going to come over back to the comments to answer any questions that you might have. And it's, how do you get this digital marketing assessment? You can do it a number of ways. When I posted this, I put a link in the description of today's Tech Talk that's going to take you over to the website in order to get on the list. So you put your email and your phone name in, that lets us know that we need to send you the follow-up course and the book that goes along with this. But then you're going to go through that, complete the assessment. Once you complete the assessment, we're going to analyze that. In the meantime, we have a course that you can go through for free to just kind of understand a 30-day marketing content plan, what that looks like. And then we're going to contact you to figure and tell you, what we learned from the assessment, and then offer some suggestions on how you can proceed from there. So I'm going to put the link in the video here on the description, but you can go to wemergemedia.com. In the menu up top, there's one that says a free marketing assessment, or just go to wemergemedia.com/free DMA for digital marketing assessment, and that'll get you right over to it. So I'm looking forward to taking a look at that and seeing who has gone through and take advantage of this offer. This is what the page is going to look like once you get over there. I'm going to put this down in the comments. But that's it, people. We want to really do our part to help a lot of you get ready for 2022 and make sure that you have the right system in place and that you're not wasting your time and your efforts. So I'm just going to go right now and put this link here, and then just check and see if we have any questions at all about what we're talking about. Any questions about the foundation that I highlighted? As I'm going through that, have you thought about things that you need, things that you're missing? Let's find out. So the link is there. I know Carmen. Yep. She says she completed hers. Awesome. So we're going to be going back for everybody who completed the boot camp. We have your assessments, and this is our follow-up week for you to take things to the next level. So love your initiative, Carmen, that you're ready to get ready for 2022 and do things the right way. We're looking forward to doing things the right way too. So awesome. All right. If you have questions and you're watching the replay of this, feel free to post them down below. I'm going to go ahead and pin the comments on all the videos, and we look forward to seeing your assessment. Once you complete the assessment and we go through and see that you submitted it, I do have a course I'm going to give you free access to. It's very short. It's going to walk you through 30-day marketing plan and what that looks like. Okay. So thanks for tuning in for Tech Talk Tuesday. We will be following up with everyone from the boot camp and making sure that we get you on to the next steps. All right. Have a good Tuesday. We'll talk to you next week.